Here is where the real turn for AI is going to take place. So right now, a lot of business owners, they're using ChatGPT, they're using Claude to do things like research or data analysis, or they'll do some aspects of work, like some aspects of implementation with AI. But when AI reaches a point where anyone can very easily use it to do end-to-end implementation, it's going to be a total game changer for everyone. To walk you through an example, I have an email marketing business. So there's a couple of key aspects to email marketing when it comes to the implementation. So first you have to write the emails. You've got to write the emails for the client. Then you've got to load the emails up into ActiveCampaign, HubSpot, whatever ESP we're using. You've got to send a test email. You got to make sure the formatting's right. You got to make sure the links work. You got to make sure that everything looks good to go. Font sizes are fine. And then you've got to schedule the email out for the specific time it's supposed to go out. So a lot of times right now for what I use AI with is mainly to write the email, but I can't necessarily do everything with AI. And that's a total pain in the ass. Not gonna lie, that's a huge pain in the ass. And if AI could do that from end to end, if instead of prompting AI to say, hey, write me this email for this client about this topic, and instead I could just prompt it to say, hey, write this email, and then when you're done with the email, I want you to create a zap so that it sends over into ActiveCampaign and follow this set of formatting based on this PDF that I uploaded, and then schedule it for this time. The time savings on that at scale are pretty insane. So I think once AI is capable of doing that, is going to be a huge a huge win for mass adoption on AI, because right now a lot of business owners, they're hesitant to use AI. They're like, mainly not because they don't think it works, but more so they just think, all right, it's just quicker and easier for me to do a lot of things on my own. I could sit here and practice with ChatGPT for a really long time and get good with it eventually. If I can do something in 5 minutes on my own and it takes me 20 minutes to do it through AI, like I'm not going to spend 20 minutes to do it. That's the thought process for a lot of business owners right now. But once AI gets to that point where it can do this end-to-end implementation, it's going to save people so much time. And I think people who are figuring out how to do it now are going to be so far ahead of the curve. I think the next area that's going to be huge for it is if AI can do that in a way that solves problems too. To give you an example there, a common thing I have to do for clients of mine, for myself, is funnel building. You have to build out the funnel in ClickFunnels or Go High Level or whatever the funnel building platform is. So I just don't like doing it. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not really particularly good at it either. And I spend a lot of time using ChatGPT to answer questions of mine, mainly with tech stuff. I'll be running into tech issues. The opt-in page doesn't send over the new opt-ins into the email list, or it doesn't trigger the new opt-ins to go into the welcome sequence on the email list. Stuff like that. Really little annoying little bullshit things that no one really wants to deal with. So a lot of times I will sit there and just ask ChatGPT questions. It's like, hey, I'm running into this issue. How do I fix this? If instead of doing that, like when I'm running into problems that I don't necessarily know how to fix, if you can just ask ChatGPT to not only figure out the answer, but just do it for you. In my ideal world, I'd like to say to ChatGPT, hey, build me this opt-in page, create a zap so that it sends all the new opt-ins into Beehive, my ESP, then create a second zap so that all these new opt-ins are triggered into the welcome sequence so it delivers the product to them, and then end it. Stuff like that where it can just run with it. It's almost like an employee of sorts, like a very smart employee who you can just tell them to do stuff and they just figure it out. You don't have to hold their hand through it the whole time. You don't have to give them a bunch of different directions. You just tell them, hey, here's a problem I have. I don't have time to deal with this. Deal with it for me. Figure it out. Once ChatGPT gets to that point, I think that's going to be huge. And maybe it already is there. I haven't really researched this too much. I'm sure there's companies in like the RPA space or something that are already doing this at a high level. I think the main thing though is it has to be easy. It has to be easy and simple to use because at the end of the day, if things are not simple for most people, if they have to spend large amounts of time figuring it out, probably not going to gain like a ton of adoption there. So once AI is able to do those two things, do implementation from end to end, and also do it in a way that a bunch of problems that the users can't necessarily figure out on their own, I think that's going to be huge for overall AI adoption. That's it for today. Let me know in the comments what you think. If companies that are already working on this that are great specifically for small business owners, definitely let me know. I'd love to check those out, do a review on it. Thank you so much.